No, Bismarck was great. Oh, hey, I gotta go. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I'm your host, as always, Richard TIEMAN, and this is the award-winning fan show. That's right, everyone's a fan of something, and we have got something for every fan. And my apologies to Fan Nation for not having a brand new episode for you last week. We kind of diverted from our regular schedule. I had some important business to attend to. But I'm back. We're back, and we've got a great episode lined up for you. As far as my business trip, now we wait. You know, it's a hurry up and wait game here in Fan Cave Studios, a game I'm all too familiar with playing, but the excitement of what could be. That's a feeling I haven't had in a while, and I'm glad to have that feeling back. It was great to talk football, strategy, visions, ideas, the creative juices. I missed it. I can't tell you enough. But as of right now, I'm still hashtag free agent for your media, public relations, broadcasting, sportscasting needs. I'm ready and available. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now on episode 473. We have a great guest lined up for you. Amazing interview segment with myself and Coach Corey Roberson of the Green Bay Blizzard. We've got a lot to get caught up on. There were some sportsy things happening in the week absence that I took. So, without further ado or any more delay, let's go ahead and hop right into it with today's headlines. Headlines are brought to you by Dynamite Enterprises. They can customize your world and do it in a number of ways. Hit up Ethan at dynamiteenterprises.com to get a quote today on anything that you would like customized, personalized, or have your logo or artwork slapped on it. They do everything from shirts, polos, hats, hoodies, beanies, tablecloths, backdrops, you name it. They can probably take a crack at it if they haven't already. And if you don't believe me, and don't take my word for it, check out their Instagram, Dynamite Enterprises, or you can visit their website, dynamiteenterprises.com. Customize your world today. And first and foremost, need to congratulate the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the 2020 Stanley Cup. Well done, well done, well done. There's a former Spokane Chief on the team, and this is the second Stanley Cup victory for the Lightning in franchise history. So obviously, very important moment for them, for the city of Tampa Bay, but really an important moment for the world of sports in general. This is the first major title. I say again, the first major title that has been won since COVID-19 and all of that madness. So take it in. Breathe in the fact that we are crowning champions again. And next up will be a basketball champion for the world of the National Basketball Association. The NBA Finals are finally set, and we have a good one. Ooh, there's some juicy storylines for this, but really what it is it's one team versus another chasing a championship. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So, your NBA Finals for the year 2020 are: the LA Lakers will take on the Miami Heat in the 2020 NBA Finals. Game 1 is tonight at 9 Eastern. Who you got, Fan Nation? Drop your predictions. Who wins? How many games? Comment below. I'm really curious to see. But it's, again, another very exciting time for the world of sports. We've crowned a hockey champion. Next up is a basketball champion. And then a baseball champion. And we've already gotten kind of back to football. As usual, some places have fans, some don't. Fans need to be in the stands, okay? That's my little soapbox for today. But yes, NBA Finals start tonight. Let me know your predictions. I'm very curious, but still, very exciting, right? You basketball fans, you've been waiting a while for this. You didn't even think it was going to happen, but nonetheless, here it is. Enjoy it. Soak it in. Moving on, we have that the Steelers and Titans game will be rescheduled. Per Commissioner Roger Goodell, there was a COVID outbreak amongst the Tennessee Titans, a couple of players, some staff. So, erring on the side of caution, they have decided to say, okay, not this week, but we're going to reevaluate and we're going to come back to it. So, I was really looking forward to this game. Both teams are 3-0. That's right, undefeated right now. Somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to win, unless, of course, you're a team that's already tied this year, like the Cincinnati Bengals or the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate ties in football, if you couldn't tell. I really do. But that will be rescheduled, so make sure that you are following the Fan Show on all major social media platforms, and maybe following those teams in the NFL for up-to-the-minute updates on the status of that rescheduled matchup. Also, there was a debate last night. Like, I can't do it. It was so comical. It was 90 minutes of just schoolyard BS, and I don't want to get too into it, but man, wow. That was something. And it was the first of three. But I have no words for the debate last night. But if maybe politics isn't your thing, and I'm sure I speak for the majority of you out there when I say that we're kind of over politics right now, maybe you're looking for a recommendation for something to watch on Amazon Prime, on Netflix, Disney Plus. Well, we've got you covered with the Real Film Nerds once again back with this week's Real Film recommendation.
How's it going, Fan Nation? It is Matt and Mysterious Mike Talent back again with another quirky movie review discussion. This week was Mysterious Mike Talent's pick. He picked this random movie on Amazon Prime called Get Duked. Mike, go ahead, tell us about it.
All right, so Get Duked was written and directed by Ninian Dolph. It's starring Samuel Bottomley, Vijay Junja, Ryan Gordon, and Louis Gribben. And it's about an Antarctic hip-hop inspired comedy that follows four city boys on a wilderness trek as they try to escape a mysterious huntsman. And I loved it.
I hated it. I thought this movie was terrible. I do not recommend you watch it at all. It's an hour and a half of my life I will never get back.
Wow, man, that's really harsh. I enjoyed this movie. It's fun. It's different. It's like Scottish teens going out in the Highlands for an adventure. They're troublemakers. They've done all kinds of dumb things. There's illicit drugs. It's great. It's just fun.
All right, Mike. Well, tell Fan Nation what kicks off next week.
Yes, next week we have Harvest Horror Fest, the annual celebration of all the things horror and movies and fall and all that.
And also, don't forget, we have yet another movie giveaway. That is like 5 or 6 in a row now. So if you want another free movie, listen to the pod, hit us up, do what we tell you to do, email us, and we will send you a code. All right, well, Richard, thanks, man. Back to you.
All right, thanks, guys, once again for the great recommendation. And don't forget to give their podcast a listen and to give them a like and a follow on all of their major social media platforms. It's robot fighting time. That's right, another sport that we thought may not happen in 2020 had to reschedule, and they will begin filming this weekend. BattleBots. Oh, yeah, I wore the shirt today because it is a special week. I am deeply saddened that I cannot be in attendance this season. I wouldn't have been media anyway because they were limiting the number of bodies that could be there for a variety of functions, right? And media was one that they were going to cut back on. I completely understand. I've been very blessed and fortunate to be a part of the last 2 seasons on location to get the content that I have. But then I got invited to be part of a team, and I thought, man, this would be awesome. But there's just too many obstacles to try to get through, and I simply couldn't make it happen. So, my bot family, robot fighting time friends, best of luck to you and all the participants this season. It's going to be a really good one. I can't wait to see. We will crown a new champion as Paul Ventimiglia and Bite Force announced that they will not be participating in this season's tapings. So, the reigning champion reigns no more. We will crown a new one. Something, again, to look forward to. So, remember, BattleBots. All right? Get ready. It's coming up very soon. So week 3 is in the books. We didn't really have a chance to talk about week 2, and then I'm going to do my rundown of the week 4 matchups and the predictions. But as of right now, my pick'em, week 2, I went 12-4. That was one hell of a turnaround from, I think, the 7-9 I did in week 1. Oof. And then week 3, 9-6-1. Again, I hate the ties. So I'm 28-19-1 overall. Not great, not terrible. But my fantasy teams, both are 0-3. So I'm really, I'm trying. The 49ers are 2-1, so there's something, right, to smile about. And they've done it. They have been winning the game of attrition. So props to Kyle Shanahan and the depth that they've been able to put together in the Bay Area, because Nick Mullins and Jerick McKinnon and just all the no-names that they have, they got it done 2 weeks in a row at MetLife Stadium against New York's finest. Dare I say that word? But anyway, what we learned from week 3 really shouldn't be of any surprise. I still believe that the Bears are the worst undefeated team at 3-0. But now that Nick Foles will assume the starting quarterback role, they could be a force to be reckoned with. We know that Nick Foles is no mortal man. He defeated Tom Brady with a Philly special in a Super Bowl. Only one other man to do that, and that's Eli Manning. We'll see what happens with this. I do believe that the best 3-0 team, though, is Seattle. They're not getting a whole lot of love, which I know. Do not adjust your sets. Do not change the channel. You are seeing Richard TIEMAN of the Fan Show giving props and praise to the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson is the clear-cut leader for MVP, but there's some that say that the Packers or the Chiefs are the best 3-0 team, and those are tough to argue, I will fully admit. But when you look at the strength of schedule, Seattle had to play on the road in Atlanta, which now looking back may not have been that tough of a matchup. But still, week 1 matchups, you really never know. And there was no preseason, so this pretty much was their dress rehearsal before the big number, which happened the next week when they hosted the New England Patriots without Tom Brady, but with Cam Newton. That one came down to the wire, and it was probably one of the best games so far that we've seen this season. And then they had to play the Cowboys at home, which really, that's like a coin flip. Are the Cowboys going to be good, or are they going to be the Cowboys? Well, they're, I don't know. I don't know about the Cowboys. I really don't, which is probably one of the things I hope gets cleared up come week 4. But Seattle, 3-0. Well-deserved. Russell Wilson doing his thing. They're letting Russ cook, I believe is the saying going around right now. And the Texans, they're 0-3, and I know that I said that I believed the Bengals were the worst, or were the best 0-3 team, and people said, well, what about the Texans? Look, the Bengals can only get better with Joe Burrow. Okay, that's just fact. That we've seen this story before. You get a young quarterback, you build around him. Crappy teams don't stay crappy forever. However, the Texans weren't a crappy team that are going to stay crappy forever. It's that you have Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson, and they peaked last year. That pair peaked last season. That run that they went on, that's the best that you're ever going to get out of those two. Deshaun Watson, I feel so terrible for him for being held back by Bill O, who went and traded away DeAndre Hopkins, and now they're sitting at 0-3, and even with 7 playoff spots, I don't know how they get one in the AFC. I really don't, but I mean, okay, tell me I'm wrong. The Packers, they said thanks for the memories to Mike McCarthy, and it seemed like a pretty good move for them, didn't it? The Cowboys have McCarthy now, and they're trying to figure things out. But sometimes, despite how much someone has done for you, it's what they haven't that you have to reevaluate and be like, maybe it's best that we go our separate ways. That's where the Houston Texans are right now. But feel free to give me your comments, your feedback, questions, answers, concerns, all of that. Drop them in the comments below. And we also have another spin from the fat bearded vinyl guy. I know, no clever segue into this one, but I do love Matt, and I want to give him his fair shine here on the Fan Show. So Matt, what are you spinning today?
Hey Fan Nation, I am Matt, the fat bearded vinyl guy, and I am back in the vinyl lair. Today I am spinning the newest album from the legendary Deep Purple. It's called Whoosh. This album was released in August of this year after a delay in the distribution of the physical media due to the COVID pandemic. But those who were into that streaming fad, 3 songs were released as digital singles between March and July. Whoosh is the 21st album from the legendary rock group, 52 years after their first album. I bet you're wondering how many original members are in the band now? Well, that would be 1, drummer Ian Pace. The album sold well, at least in Europe. Whoosh hit number 1 in 6 European countries and peaked in the top 10 in 6 more. In the US, however, well, Americans aren't as much into hard rock anymore. Whoosh peaked at number 4 on the Billboard's hard rock albums, but on the Billboard 200, it only managed 161. That said, I really like this album. It's a solid listen, mixing heavy rhythms with the classic Deep Purple sound. Individually, the songs are not very memorable, but listening to the album front to back, it is very enjoyable. This is kind of a blessing and a curse with legacy acts like Deep Purple. The playing is high quality, the musicianship is top notch. They just seem to lack a kind of hunger that younger bands have to push themselves further. I do recommend this album if you like retro sound updated for the 21st century. Now, if I was a man that would give album ratings, I would give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. But I don't, so I won't. That's all for now. For more music talk and vinyl shenanigans, go to fatbeardedvinylguy.com. You'll find links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Starting next week, right here, I'll be kicking off my Rocktoberfest with the first of 4 albums from one great band.
All right, thank you, Matt, once again for the great spin this week. It's been so much fun to watch him try new things and get outside of his comfort zone. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the Real Film Nerds, but they've been doing their podcast for a while. Matt, this was a whole new venture for him, and he asked me, he's like, do you think I should do this? I said, do you enjoy it? He's like, yeah. I said, then do it. So thank you, Matt. I love having you as part of the fan show, so keep doing your thing, and we're going to keep doing our thing. We've got week 4 coming at us, and we've got some great matchups. Of course, it is another edition of Fan vs. Fan Show with my interview guest, Corey Roberson of the Green Bay Blizzard, so make sure that you watch the end of the interview for those predictions. But I'm going to run down week 4 and my picks, and hopefully I can have another great 12-4 outcome like I did for week 2. But speed round, here we go for my week 4 predictions. I like the Jets, the Bears, the Bengals, the Browns, the Saints, the Titans when that one gets rescheduled, the Seahawks, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Bucks, the Ravens, the Rams, the Raiders, I know, right? The Raiders over the Bills, the Patriots over the Chiefs, my Niners, of course, and then the Packers over the Falcons. Some of those games, man, great matchups. New England and Kansas City. I know I'm crazy for picking against Kansas City again, but somebody's going to figure them out. And I think that that's going to be Bill Belichick and Cam Newton. And then it would just further prove my point that I think Seattle's the best team right now, or at least the team to beat. There's 3 contenders for the best team right now. It's the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Seahawks. And it's really hard to figure out who it is there. But that Raiders pick over Buffalo, East Coast team traveling to the West Coast, not a good combination. And they let the Rams come back from a 25-point lead, and then they still eked out the victory. But some of you were holding your breath through the end of that one. So those are my week 4 pick'em. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments. We can play on ESPN Pigskin Pick'em. I'm also part of an Eliminator Challenge on there as well. If you'd like details, tweet at me at FanShowOfficial. Make sure that you like the page on Facebook, facebook.com/FanShowOfficial, and follow me on Instagram, The Fan Show. But most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C/The Fan Show. So now we have our interview segment, and of course each week I get a guest that I believe is a true all-star at whatever they do, whether it's a player, a coach, a front office member, a friend of mine. In my eyes and in the world of Fan Nation, they're an all-star, which is why this interview segment is brought to you by our friends at All-Star Bass Fishing. Bobby Brown has been a good friend of mine over the last few years. They're really doing some special stuff over on the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest. So I was proud to give this segment to him. All-Star Bass Fishing, we have an all-star guest. It really just seemed like the stars aligned perfectly for this to happen. So go check them out, allstarbassfishing.com, and make every weekend an all-star weekend. So here we go. Without further ado, my special guest, the coach of the Green Bay Blizzard, Corey Roberson. Enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me this week, special treat for you guys, as they all are, but this one especially because he is the head coach of the Green Bay Blizzard and still the coach of the year for the Indoor Football League. It is Corey Roberson. Welcome back, Coach. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Rich.
Absolutely. It's always fun to revisit with you guys during this extended off season that I'm calling it. Not that we wanted to have more time to prepare for the next season. I think we would have liked to have celebrated a champion by now, and I'm sure you probably feel that same way given how well your Blizzard did back in 2019. So you had a solid roster that was prepared to go into 2020 to really make a splash. It was going to be a team that really nobody wanted to play because of how well you guys did toward the end of the season last year. And so your goal, you and I discussed, you said you wanted to get a lot of those guys back if you could, especially your secondary. So with kind of a, extended off season and a canceled season, has anything changed as far as your approach and what's been this off season like for you guys?
As far as the approach, the approach stays the same. We are who we are, Green Bay. It's our philosophy hasn't changed with our approach as far as recruiting players. We may have a little shakeup in the secondary a little bit. We got to keep it moving. I'm very confident in our coaching staff and myself as well. When it comes to our recruiting and getting the players ready to play, and now it's just, making sure we got the right players in place.
Yeah, and I could see that a year would kind of change things. I know that the NCAA was dealing a lot with availability and what they were going to do when it came to that, but obviously they made the decision that you're going to still retain your eligibility, whether you play, you don't play, or whether you play in the spring or the fall. So normally you guys kind of, you're not officially a development league, but the IFL has always been kind of that second chance, league that players can land so that they can work on technique, get some film, be coached up, and then maybe have a shot at the next level. Has anything in your mind changed due to the circumstances that we've had to go through with 2020 and now college players and their eligibility, and then you guys and trying to put together the best roster for 2021?
Typically we really don't get draft eligible guys that year of the season unless it's late in the season. So as far as our approach this year my approach was to retain as many guys as we could last season, guys that made the 2020 roster, and bringing them in, and also look for some new talent to come in to push the guys to either take a roster spot or push the guys to elevate their game even more. We were unfortunate not to play a game in 2020. 4 teams played a game before the season got postponed. We were still able to evaluate our players, and I felt strongly and confident to invite those men back to come in and compete again this year, as well as bringing in new talent. But as far as the NCAA and what they have going on and postponing things, once them guys become available and eligible to pursue at the professional level, that's when we would shift our focus to them then once they become eligible after their eligibility is up in college.
As I mentioned, 2019 was quite a year for Green Bay. You guys clinched a playoff berth, you hosted a playoff game, and you had one hell of a roster, at your disposal there. You would have loved a championship, but you did come out as the coach of the year for the Indoor Football League. I got to ask, what does it mean to you as far as looking at your career so far and the different things that you have accomplished, and then going into a whole new season as the reigning coach of the year?
I always give praise to God for giving me the opportunity to be in this position. The Trinkler family for believing and trusting in me. But I also like to say this is it wasn't an award that I would say was all me. It was the players. The players put forth the effort. They believed in the system that I brought. They trusted me, and it was them who actually put the work in. Besides, on the back end, the coaches putting the work in behind the scenes. But the players had to trust us, and that's building that relationship, making sure that you in the trenches with them, you in the gauntlet with them, going through what they experiencing day to day. I believe it has helped me a lot being a former player. To be able to relate to these young men and give them my experience, even though times have changed dramatically. I give all praise to God in that order, the Trinklers, and then my wife, of course, I can't leave her out. But the players, at the end of the day, the players, they trusted the coaching staff.
Yeah, and 2021 is going to be a very interesting season as far as the layout, the what is it, the blueprint or the footprint for the league, because there's been a few teams that have decided to go dormant for 2021. There's a team that pushed back its debut from 2021 to 2022. So, you look at the landscape right now, and you've got 3 teams in Arizona, all with quality coaches. Dixie Wooten, a 2-time coach of the year before you. Kevin Guy, who is a legend in this. Then Prescott Valley just got the former Duke City Gladiators coach who won back-to-back championships. Billy back in Spokane. You up there in Green Bay, Coach Riggs in Sioux Falls, and then Amir Ishmael in Iowa. And I'm sure that I'm leaving somebody out because, there's still some announcements yet to be had, and I don't know all of the teams that we have as far as who's officially going to be there. But my point is that, it's going to be a very competitive season. But for you, what's your, I guess, pitch to a player as far as somebody who's on the fence about where to go and where they feel they're going to be able to grow the most?
Well, besides the beach we got Lake Michigan, right? Besides the beach and the sunny weather, I think the IFL did a great job. I could honestly say we could eliminate the weather aspect of things, because by them pushing the league back a month, I think they just put us right in the playing field or with that weather. You're only really getting midway through March, you're getting probably 15 days of bad weather before it started translating to what the players are used to coming from the outdoor game, real football season type of weather, with that fallish, even though it's spring weather here in Green Bay before it started breaking into summertime. So I thank the league for, one, helping my recruiting process by pushing the league back a month. So, and I tell Dixie all the time, look, you don't have the advantage no more. It's too hot there. But as far as my pitch, it don't get any. It's not even better to come to Green Bay. You're right across the street from Lambeau Field. We are season ticket holders of the Packers just as well as they are season ticket holders of ours. I tell the players straight up, I can't make them people across the street give you a workout. That's on you. The work that you put in when you come here, but the opportunity is greater once you get here, just because they are within walking distance to come and see you play. Within a driving distance, I'm talking minutes to come and see you practice. So, that's my pitch, and the opportunity to showcase what you have. That's my pitch, and it's just being straight up with them, being real with them, not sugarcoating it. And I tell them all the time, every single player that I've talked to and or recruited, I tell them I'm not gonna sell you a dream. I'm gonna give you me and all of me and who I am. And if you can't respect that, that's your problem. That's not mine. So at the end of the day, you have to want to be in Green Bay. Green Bay, we have to make Green Bay a destination spot. And that's been my focus from day one since we came in. I think that showed with the level of talent that we brought in 2019, and I think it's enhancing that from this point forward and continue to make Green Bay a destination.
Now, at the tail end of last season, everybody was talking about who they thought was going to be MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. And I know that the debate was whether it was going to be you or Coach Guy, because Kevin Guy had led the Rattlers to an undefeated regular season, charging headfirst into the postseason. And I said, that's great, and I don't want to take anything away from Coach Guy, but what Corey Roberson has done up there in Green Bay is really something special. And they're like, so because the expectation for Guy is so high, he's just, it's expected and he'll never be Coach of the Year again. I said, that's not necessarily what I'm trying to say here. It's just when you have a weight loss competition, you don't award it to the guy that weighs, 120 pounds versus the guy who weighs 150. It's who lost the most weight, who made the most of their journey of their time. And I thought that was you, hands down, with Green Bay. So were you surprised when you won Coach of the Year?
I was excited, surprised. I don't do this for the awards. I don't do this for the glamour or the awards. That's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it to help these young men move forward in their career, help them get to the level that I was unfortunate to make it to, right? You know, I played in this indoor game for 9 seasons and I wasn't able to get across the street. And my job is to help them with whatever they're missing. So when you talk about the awards and stuff like that, yes, I was excited once I got announced, as well as once you chose me as well, the IFL and the F.A.N show. But that wasn't, you know, when it came, you know, it was some excitement. But at the end of the day, Rich, it wasn't, that's not why I do it, you know, and I don't want to make it into awards. I think the ultimate goal is a championship.
Absolutely. And I think you guys are primed. You know, a lot can happen in a year. Literally, you know, we're dealing with a whole year of no IFL football, but I think a lot of your players are going to want to come back and play for you, play for the city of Green Bay, because they knew, and I talked to them a lot, you know, at the end of the season and even throughout, and they said that they felt that they were part of something special too going into that postseason. So it's hard to, you know, market that or pitch that feeling, but however you guys pulled it off, you know, you made it happen. Anytime a player, it feels like they're part of something special, it's hard to pull them away from that. So props to you guys and the Blizzard for making 2019 a really fun year to watch you guys.
Appreciate that. And, you know, hopefully we get some of these young men to come back. You know, here's my pitch to them. Bring yourselves back to Green Bay so we can finish what we started, baby.
All right, so it's the fun part of the interview. I've been having a little competition with the other coaches I've interviewed, a segment I call Fan versus Fan Show, and I'm going to do things a little differently with you and maybe moving forward, because I've lost to Clint Dalzell, I've lost to Dixie Wooten, and they've been ugly losses. So it's a game of pick'em, but I have picked the 6 best games of the week, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you pick your 3 winners, any 6 games you want, and then I will pick my 3. And if I really had my sights set on a game that you pick, I can only pick it if I pick the other opponent opposite of you. So we went over the games. You have the 6 in front of you. Which games is the reigning Coach of the Year going to go with?
Ooh, all right. Let's see. I have, let's go Steelers and Titans. That should be a smash mouth, fun game to watch if you like good defense and running the ball. Both these teams should be able to do that very well. I'm going with the Steelers.
Solid choice.
Second game, not even sure how they made it here, but they are. Colts and Bears. And that's going to be an interesting game.
Perfect word to describe it.
And both of them has decent records. So, whoo. I got to go with the NFC team. It's hard to go against them. I'm going to go with the Bears. Yeah, solid defense over there. And then they had a quarterback change too, right?
Yeah, Nick Foles is in at QB now. That changes things.
Super Bowl winner. All right. I'm going to stay away from that Chiefs game. Let's go Bills and Raiders. Young quarterback on the rise over there in Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo.
All right, so you have picked 2 away teams and a home team. You like the Steelers over the Titans. You like the Bears hosting Indy, and then you like Buffalo over Las Vegas. And all 3 of those should be really good games. For me, I am actually going to, choose in that New England and Kansas City game. I think if anyone can figure out how to slow down Pat Mahomes, it is Bill Belichick. The question becomes then, can Cam Newton in that offense move the ball downfield enough to put up enough points to keep Mahomes in the offense at bay? I will go with New England on the road. You can never count, Belichick out of the game, so that's going to be my hot pick for this week. I'm also going to take Arizona on the road over Carolina. I think Arizona is one of those teams that could really ruin it for a lot of other teams this year and could bid for that 7th playoff spot. Carolina, I wish was better right now, but who knows? This could be the one where it really clicks for everybody, including Teddy Bridgewater. And then the third game I'm picking is, We saw how much trouble the Raiders gave the Saints. The Saints are a really good team, and that was at home, and it's a Gruden team, and I know he tries to find the openings where he can. So you liked Buffalo. I think all good things must come to an end. I'm going to take a flyer here and go with the Raiders against the Bills in Vegas. I know, crazy, right? But,
oh, yeah.
But that strength of schedule for Buffalo, I have some concerns. The Raiders, though, they mounted a great comeback against the Rams. You can't take that away from them. But the fact that they let the Rams get back in it like that,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. So, all right, those are our picks, Coach. I look forward to this week. I'm sure you and I will be texting back and forth on Sunday. Always fun. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you guys get a great roster assembled for 2021. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys compete. There's a lot of great talent, a lot of great teams out there. So right now I'm just hoping we have a 2021 season, and I think it's gonna work itself out to be great no matter what.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on the show.
All right, well, take care, everybody. Tell the team I said hello, and hopefully I'll see them this year. But you take care of yourself, stay safe, and stay healthy.
Yeah, we got to get you up there to Green Bay.
I need some Green Bay swag, too. I was checking. I was like, wow, I don't have a single T-shirt or hat. I was surprised because I could have swore I had one.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna talk to Ryan about that, get you something, because I seen you posted something about the rancher. And I didn't see any Blizzard attire on your post. And I know Ashton had Blizzard attire on.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ryan sent all the stuff he was supposed to give me to Ashton, and so that's where it went. It's easy to get the two of us mixed up, but that's where I'm going to say my swag went is to Ashton instead.
we gonna get you some stuff.
All right, Coach. Well, take care of yourself, and thank you so much again. You have a good one.
All right, thank you. You too.
And thanks again, Coach. That was a lot of fun. I do love that I have such a great relationship with the coaches and players and some of the staff members, even some owners and general managers throughout the Indoor Football League, because it makes these interviews so much more relaxed, so much more fun, and overall much more entertaining. And as a side note, because we made that prediction before it was announced that the Pittsburgh and Tennessee game was going to be rescheduled, I texted him. I said, what's another game that you want? He is going to roll with Dallas over Cleveland. So we're doing fan versus fan show a little differently this week. I kind of like this way because now it's not about picking 3 games or 5 games and making sure that you have an odd number of different picks so that somebody comes out a winner. It's like, I'm going to give you the 6 best games of the week. You pick your 3, I'll pick my 3, and we'll see who comes out on top. So thank you again, Coach. It was a real pleasure. And thank all of you. Again, I don't like skipping weeks, but it was kind of an important trip. And when I know, you guys will know. Plain and simple. I love you, Fan Nation, and thank you for welcoming me into your home, either by laptop, tablet, desktop, or mobile phone. It's always fun to do these with you guys, and I hope that you have enjoyed every episode and the content that we give you week in and week out right here on the show made for the fans by a fan. So remember, like, subscribe, download, tell your friends, tell your family, all that good stuff. Word of mouth is the best advertising that I can do here on the Fan Show. So until next time, it's not official unless it's Fan Show official, and we are officially out of here. So best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners, and remember, it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his own player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.